Hi, MaFashio.
Hi.
It's a pleasure having you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you pretty ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's amazing. I've never come across the name MaFashio, and I just saw your video, and it's amazing that you guys exist.
It's amazing that we exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are fashion bloggers, basically. Well, initially at least. So we work in the Zambian fashion industry. And in addition to that, we do makeup.
And styling.
And
Yeah, I noticed that, someone did a very good job on me. I don't usually accept any makeup, so that was good. So tell us more about yourselves, how you guys came up with the name, maybe MaFashio, and what you're doing.
Okay, so first of all, we're sisters, you can probably tell.
we hope so anyway.
We hope so anyway. And we started MaFashio in 2012. And the name came about, the reason why we started was we used to see people on the street because we started out as what they call a street style blog.
Briefly, I'm Amos Mwale. I work for Center for Reproductive Health and Education. I am the executive director. I've been working with young people for quite some time. That's what I've done my whole life. I studied young people. I work with young people. I've reached a level where I'm highly looked at as a source of inspiration, and at the same time as a source of information when it comes to the area of young people and reproductive health, especially in Zambia and outside. So it would be nice actually to speak to you ladies today. So let's go further and look at some of the comments that we have received from the Facebook page. I mean, I have looked at your video. It was very, very inspiring. And let's get feedback. I have a lot of them right here, but I will only ask you guys to read 2 of each, and then let's get the best of what you think, and then she can also pick 2 which she thinks is the best.
Oh, these are really nice. So Chance Mulo says they are beautiful and cool.
And Tab says, love MaFashio, so genuine, endearing, normal girls.
Then Ngosa Chungu said, oh my God, no wonder we get along. Sisters should be the love of your life.
And Mazuva Kampambwe at Afrosocialite said, MaFashio sistership is goals. I love this.
That's lovely. We are getting a lot of feedback from your video and from the Facebook page. So, have you ever heard about Tikambe, or the concept called Tikambe, this show you're on today?
So I think the first time we heard about Tikambe was when we were approached to work with them on this show and on the Facebook videos before. We received an email, and that was the first time we had heard about it, but we thought it was such a great idea, wondering how has no one done this before. It's an amazing idea.
Okay, and did you wonder what it was and what it is?
We did. I must admit, I remember I was reading the email to Tukiya, and I said, they're talking about sexual reproductive health. Like, what are we going to say? But yeah, that was the initial reaction. But I think as we've sort of liked the pages, followed on Twitter, and because we're very active on social media.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Having seen the impact that they have and the things that they talk about, it makes you think, these are the conversations we should be having.
So Tikambe basically focuses on issues of sexual and reproductive health and ensuring that young people have access to information and where they're able to seek services. So it's a referral point where different young people can use different medium to actually access information and also seek services. Because when you look at that, it's easy to have social media, but at the same time, it's a reference point where you can actually be referred to. So, in our everyday work, we interact with different people, with whatever we do. So what we'll do is we will see a video, and then we should be able to discuss more. I haven't seen the video, and so for both of us, it's an experience that we'll have, and then we should be able to talk more about it. So let's watch a video.
Sinanga ndina Iness ninkala ku Marapod skulu napunzira grade 1 to 7 naleka school grade 7 after nalimba exam ya grade 7 nabwana nkala na mimba pena nkala na mimba nabwana naleka kwenda ku school nabongala chipa nyumba until nabwana nkala na mwana pena nkala na mwana nakala chesu che yo shasha chesu che life pena zinambo kumana na mamuna nizina 11 years independent kwanza 12 years independent nabwana mbukumana namba kusoweza okay nizo soweza chisenzo zivyo nizo chita nizo soweza machoro my parents waniuza hivyo chita si senzo mvira nizo kungu stashe continue che until na bwana kala na mimba ija mimba nakala nayo na bwana kala na mwana pati wa mami sinezo nkala maningi na baby pants olo wanita na boyela nifuna nikambika na iwe sinezo fakira konze nizo konda waza mzani uzafichana na mzani uza kubebe mzani uza imo minta ila che time independence nambo suya na ujambu tenzi bonse bafana banzanga baby jama group bakao kaja mamuna kakufuna so che banzanga titumfiana paka nambo enda na ujamuntu amba mpasa na mimba penezi nkala na mimba shina 13 years sinezo ziva kuti ivanenchita basi ngankalima na mimba sinezo ziva nizo soberera muchabi sinezo ziva pukuyuzinga makondom sinezo ziva kuti kuli kuyuzinga ku makondom kushita basi sinezo ziva nizo soberera muchi penezi na bwana nkala na mimba life na bwana yambonile mbila bana ntandiza ma parents wanga paka mwana akula paka bado akula hapo mwana wanga ana 7 years napunza hapo vambili banesi nezo ziva naziva baje nezo ziva vili vonse me hapa naziva kutinga ukona na mamuna funika yozinga kondomu kuli kutenga mimba kuli kutenga matenda mapezeka and futi ukangala na mwana ukali mfana life imakosa so kusebenza bakusunga che ipesika ungala pa family jam simuli mliben drama munkala ya life che yoluisha che ungala kuvutika che mvambili kai mvambi vabe mafunika so ninapunzira hapo
It's I always get touched when I hear and see stories of young people getting pregnant at a very tender age. It's an everyday thing we see in this country. So it's I mean, for me, this is an opportunity to speak to people who don't deal with reproductive health. So I want to hear what are your views, what's your perception, what do you think? Let's talk about this young girl.
I think one of the things for me was just how it's sobering to see that, but also that she's started to have sex so early, and she didn't even know what. I mean, she knew she was playing around; it was fun, but she didn't really know what it was. I think
another thing I think I noted was she said her and her friends would sort of talk about it, and I think that also shows that she wasn't then on her own as an individual doing this. It means there's a larger group of children then engaging in these practices, because it's probably her, or was probably her and her friends. So it's a large group of very young children then having sex very early.
Yeah, when you look at the statistics from the Ministry of Education, about 11,000, you know, the total number of girls who dropped out of school was 16,300. And then out of the 16,000, 11,000 were actually from primary school, you know, meaning that it's in the category of what we've just seen. So this tells us that young people are actually having sex early in this country, you know. So for me, that's a huge worry. So people like you guys, what are you doing about it? Are you just concentrating on fashion, or you're actually trying to sell something to these young people?
First of all, I think I must be honest. She said she started to play around with boys when she was 11, 12.
She actually said she started having sex when she was 11, 12.
Yeah.
I mean, I was climbing trees at that age. And you used to hear about, that boy, and you would have crushes, but not that intensely.
Yeah. It was quite unimaginable.
It's regrettable that a number of young girls actually know this information when they have either been victims or they have learnt it from their colleagues. We heard from the video that she only knew that there are condoms when she was already pregnant. She knew that there was infections when she was already pregnant. So what do you think about providing sexuality information to children who are below the age of 12, maybe 10? Because we've heard from the video that she started engaging in sex activity as early as 11.
I think I used to believe that there was a minimum age of maybe like 15-ish, 16-ish to start talking to children about sex and that kind of thing. But that was before I was exposed to sort of, this video first of all, but also just other Tikambe sort of material, where I realized that clearly children, like you said, 16,000, that's a lot of children having sex very early. So I think that it might be necessary for children to know about sex as early as they can possibly understand what you are saying to them.
What I'm curious about is how do you package it? Because for us, if you come and speak to us about sex, you can have a sort of an honest conversation, a very open conversation, I assume. But if you're speaking to somebody who's 11
or 10,
how do you then package it? How, as somebody that works with young people all the time, how do you package it so that they understand the weight of what they're engaging in? And not yet engaging in that, how do you package it?
Yeah, I mean that's has been one of the challenges we have faced in this country, because everyone agrees that teenage pregnancy, including the vice president, is a problem. I mean, she's been talking about this throughout since she came into office. But the challenge is when you look at the age, you don't want to assume that everyone actually in that age is having sex. So you are restricted in terms of what you should tell them. Are you going to start discussing condoms with them? Are you going to start telling them how, it's a challenge. But at the same time, the ministry has developed a curriculum, and the teachers are professionals, where they are teaching from grade 5 upwards. They are teaching them on sexuality education. So we are calling it age-appropriate information that they can be able to give them. But for me, what struck me most was when you look at these young people, they are discussing sex. You
just
heard,
to begin with.
Yeah.
Yes,
just to
saying,
you heard they are discussing sex. So if they're discussing sex, what would you think we should tell them?
I don't even know. I know that if I'm honest, even though we were quite ignorant maybe at that age, we still used to speak about it sort of in hush tones. We didn't know exactly what it was, but we knew that there was something such as that. But I'm still not sure what my parents would have said to me or would have felt comfortable telling me about sex.
I mean, I don't think they spoke to us about
it. Yeah.
No, not even directly.
I'll ask you a personal question. So how did you guys know about sex? And when did you start talking about it?
Well, we grew up in a reverend's home.
So you're from the pastor's house.
You can imagine. No, it was. It wasn't like a forbidden topic. He tried to be a very sort of a very new age, maybe modern preacher. But even then, I think even our mums, these stories about sex, it was mostly TV. It was just TV because we were, what's happening? And
yes, it was hide your face.
Yeah, I mean, because when somebody switches from TBN and then that's how we sort of started to find out, I think, about sex quite early as well.
Yeah. And then we would ask each other, but so they're kissing each other, things like that.
So guys didn't come after you guys?
They did, these neighborhood boys.
Are you the Mayadi kids?
Pangono,
mid-level.
but they would come after you, and
just didn't understand what they were. Our cousins were a lot more liberal, so I think that's another way we learned.
Yes, our older cousins where you'd see them with boys, they'd be dropped off, and you're just like looking like, who's this guy? And because maybe they were our cousins, they were not as conscious about what they should be saying in front of us. So if they're talking as peers and we're just sitting there like,
they'll just say,
no, and then, and then this happened, and we're all just like, But
okay, I mean, that's something we need to discuss, because that's where peer pressure starts. If you heard what she was saying, she was like, no, that guy is after you, he's following you, so can you say, But the thing is that I think in our society, we don't discuss the consequences of sex. If you heard from her story again, she's highly talking about difficulties after she fell pregnant, there's no support. The last resort, who are there to help her parents. So for me, parents have a major role.
Yes.
So you guys, I don't know if any of you guys are parents, but I will ask you a question. What would be the role of parents in ensuring that they are able to discuss these issues with the young people? Because statistics, evidence shows that young people are having sex early. And it's risky, teenage pregnancy, if they're lucky, but if they are not, there's HIV, there are other STIs. So what do you think parents should do? What should they say if they want? Or who is the best person who should talk to our kids about sexuality issues?
I think first, maybe the parents need to admit to themselves that this is actually an issue, because I know we say that the adults know, but I don't think they grasp fully how much of an issue it actually is. But then also, I think that even though the internet will speak to you about sex, you will find it in the media, on social media, still the person you're most likely to trust is your parent, at least the person that will give you the most, the information that is coming to you with sort of care and understanding will be your parents. So I do feel like a parent should be the person who first talks to their child about sex.
Well, it's coming out that fathers have a lot of influence towards, especially the girl child. I mean, we heard from the video that she couldn't even listen to the mother when the mother was asking her to like sit, let's talk. She couldn't hear that. She says, "What are you going to tell me, mom? My time is to be out there." You've just spoken about your dad, and it's interesting that fathers have a major role.
They do.
But traditional and culture, and I need to echo this, in your video, you guys talked about not being scared, try out things. Traditional and culture, it doesn't allow, or it doesn't give that high opportunity for male parents to actually speak these issues with their children. So what should we do?
I think it's platforms for the boys. I know that a lot of organizations are concentrated on the girls because the girl child has been sort of subdued for a very long time. But we can't really elevate the girls and then forget about the boys, because I feel like obviously these boys will be fathers, and people say, no, this generation now, and I can't really speak for the generation of men that have passed, but then the ones, at least the ones coming up, can be salvaged if we teach them about speaking openly, and if we teach them to have a human relationship with their partners and then also with their children, so they can understand that this child respects me, so they will listen to me, and we can have sort of a more open relationship. So I think it's about the boys who are young right now.
Right now, yes.
This year I had dedicated it to ensuring that pregnancy is brought down, even at highest level, and I hope that the statistics we're going to see next year are going to be much better than what we saw in 2015. Because, I mean, if we're going to have 11,000 primary school kids getting pregnant, we should be worried, because then the numbers that are returning to school are less than half. And we're talking about 3,000, 2,000. Meaning that the girls, we heard from the video that she's not doing anything. Ashansha chab. And kushansha means that they will not contribute anything to society. Then they, as much as we want them to be like you guys, they will not be, because their levels of education would have not reached a stage where they are able to fend for themselves and understand things and contribute highly to society.
And she did say it so matter-of-factly, almost that she couldn't go back to school, almost as if it was something that just couldn't happen.
You don't want your child to come and tell you, Daddy, Mommy, I'm pregnant, especially now. I mean, parents are investing a lot of resources to educate these children. You know, that's a lifetime opportunity. Secondly, you don't want your child to come and tell you, Daddy, Mommy, I'm HIV positive. You know, then you start thinking that you have failed them, you know, because then it's like they didn't listen to you, but you didn't do your part. So it's key that we start discussing these issues, especially where the shame, like you guys were saying, when they're kissing comes on play. This time television is teaching our children a lot of things. But the challenge we have also is that parents are too busy. You know,
That's true.
Yeah, parents are too busy. Parents don't have time for children. Parents have time to make money. So we need to find time to discuss with our children. This has been very fruitful and very helpful. It's rare that I can speak to fashion people. It's rare that you get an opportunity to, you know, to get to meet people who are not in the sector. I think our sector is, everyone works in their own sector, you know. You were asking me about the Zambia fashion show and stuff. But before we leave, I want to just ask you quick ones. What have you guys learned from the video? And what would be your recommendation in terms of how you and us should work together to ensure that Tikambe reaches everyone?
Okay, I think my takeaway from the video actually is enlightenment. Because you start to feel, I guess, in the city like you know a lot about a lot. But then with Iness and her video, the fact that not just that she was having sex early because that you know, but that she genuinely didn't know the consequences of having sex and didn't connect sex at all to pregnancy or disease, which now she knows much, much later on. So I think that's my takeaway. Also that social media is a lot, but it's not quite enough because there's a lot of people who can still be reached, you know, like door to door out there in the rural communities.
I think for me, on top of what Kia has said, seeing as we're both not parents yet, it makes you think, when I'm a parent, how do I want to speak to my child about this? And we're being young people in this day and age, you're rushing to, you know, for career and to be bigger and bigger and bigger and make more money and just how to, I guess, as being at the age we are at, we should start to think about, okay, when I do have children, how do I want them to know about this? How do I want them to grasp the idea of sex at an early age? And also just I've learned a lot more about what you're doing and that there are actually people out there that are dedicated to preventing and also to aftercare.
So what was your takeaway from Iness's story?
Well, it's sad. It's for me, it's an everyday story. It's sad that in this modern age we continue, I mean, as Zambia, refusing to allow young people to have service. What we need to do is we need to let young people have the service. If we do that, then we'll be able to, it's for their own good, you know, it is for their own good. It's the good of the family. If we keep, she has nothing now, you know, she can't get employed. She can't bear it, she can't survive, you know. She will survive maybe by selling on the street. She highly depends on the parents, you know. So parents need to realize that to solve the problem, they need to get involved. And they need not only to get involved when someone is a victim, but to get involved at an early age and at an early stage. For me, that's it. But I'm really interested in working with you guys. You didn't get pregnant when you were young, so it would be good to have you guys as role models to speak to the young girls, to just show them that there is more than being on TV, to show them that they can actually do a lot of things and help them build their career. I think you women are not doing much for your colleagues. Generally, women need to help young girls not fall pregnant. You know, because they are the ones who are right now victims of falling pregnant. As boys, we'll be boys, and then we have to discuss these issues always. But there are a lot of stereotypes that men go through. To be a man, you need to do certain, make 3 and 4 pregnant girls, then, So these are things that we need to challenge, and then if you girls can talk about them, empower your colleagues, it will be good.
That's true.
So it was a pleasure having you guys, and I hope to come to one of the fashion shows.
You should. You need to.
Thanks a lot. So hope to work with you.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thanks. Good. Nice meeting you guys.
Naambia mushipo mimi nachita explain kuchosa venze kumutima kwanga venze nasonga naambia mushi but by this time ngafuni kuchapi ngafuni zapeza che weya mushi na machido na kumisa kwa mwana wanga nda kusukula ni wishi nga mwana wanga kankare life ya mushi kusukula ndotaka pita mulivani na pita mwe